To accept the fact that life is challenging is difficult. You'll never lead a perfect life. I can guarantee everyone of this. But on the bright side, we can discover our passion. On the flip side, some will lose a job or a friend. Yet if we fully comprehend and accept the fact that life is challenging, then life will no longer be challenging. How so? First, by taking accountability for every aspect of our lives. See, life is full of challenges that causes us pain. So we attempt to stay away from challenges. We put things off and create excuses, wishing that our issues will resolve themselves, but they won't. We actually foster growth is dealing with resolving our issues. Consider how many of us neglect to check our bank accounts, fearing we won't have any money since we know we spent it all. We may also put off visiting the doctor because we're afraid to face the truth about our illness or injury. And maybe we avoid seeing old friends because we have previously neglected them. Whichever issue we're trying to avoid, it won't go away by itself. Accepting that we have a problem is the first step towards solving it. We must hold ourselves accountable. A quick fix doesn't exist. Nothing will ever change if we don't. It might be challenging to accept responsibility right away, but for those prepared to invest the required time, they learn that this requires a change in our thinking. Consider our love as a lesson in individualism. Real love is characterized by respect for one another's uniqueness and recognizes one another as distinct individuals. This holds true for your love of your friends, family, and close relationships. Individuals who are blind to this risk developing egocentric and obsessive habits. As an example, consider Brian as a basketball enthusiast who is also athletic. Kevin, his son, enjoys reading. Brian urges Kevin to play basketball. He orders him to put down his book and play on the court. Kevin experiences pain and guilt as a result of this. When Lisa confronts Brian and claims their son has a problem because Kevin is in excellent health, and Brian should erase the demand he has on Kevin to marry him. But Brian is hesitant to change. The simple lesson to learn here is to be realistic about your expectations for your child. Brian was very obsessive. He looked to Kevin for his own happiness. Kevin was less important to Brian than the connection. So give your loved ones your entire support towards their own dreams, values, and goals. More so than a relationship, you should value them. By assuming that they are independent of you, this improves the relationship and reduces conflict. The final point is the freedom of honesty. Think about going to a job interview. You're familiar with using a 3D printer. The hiring manager questions. But in order to get the job, you lie and answer yes. You're hired. You also use the 3D printer on the first day and damage it because you're unskilled. After the boss realizes it's broken, you lie and say your colleague did it. You now ignore your coworker in order to escape an embarrassing situation. Others at work will soon discover you are proficient with the 3D printer. They want you to assist them in operating it. However, you tell a lie and explain that you must use the bathroom. You then stay away from them for the remainder of the day. Additional layers are added to the chain of lies. Work becomes mentally taxing. To avoid people and cover up previous lies, you must develop new ones. You should have been truthful from the start. To avoid suffering right now, we tell lies in the moment, underestimating the issues it will bring. Honesty takes effort and self-control. There are no quick fixes. So when is lying acceptable? Let's say you go for a walk one day. You observe a man approaching you as he runs. He has tears in his eyes and appears anxious and terrified. I'm going to hide here, he claims. He can no longer run. He says I did nothing wrong. Ensure me you won't reveal my whereabouts to them. You keep walking after making a pledge to the man who is hiding. Shortly after, you see police approaching. They question you regarding the individual they are pursuing. How do you behave? Do you lie? The lesson here is that lying can have its advantages at times and exceeds the benefits of stating the truth, but we frequently underestimate them. Thereby, be more truthful, so you won't need to cover anything up, which prevents your own personal development. Truth is freedom, and changing is difficult.